What if I told you that you are not seeing the world? What if I told you that right now, at this very second, you are effectively blind to 99% of your life? We walk through our days believing that our eyes work like high-definition cameras. We think we see everything that is in front of us. We believe that if an opportunity for wealth was standing right there, we would see it. We believe that if love was staring us in the face, we would notice it. We believe that our reality is an objective, solid fact. But this is the greatest illusion the human mind has ever created. Here is the scientific reality that neuroscientists have known for decades, but few people truly understand. In every single second, your senses, your eyes, your ears, your skin, your taste buds, are bombarded with over 2 billion bits of information, 2 billion separate pieces of data. Think about what is happening around you right now. There are radio waves passing through your body. There is the hum of electricity in the walls. There is the pressure of your clothes against your skin. There are thousands of colors in your peripheral vision. There are micro-expressions on the faces of the people around you. 2 billion bits of data are flooding into your nervous system every single second. If your brain actually processed all 2 billion bits of data at once, your mind would shatter. You would short-circuit. It would be like trying to download the entire internet onto a smartphone in a single second. The system would crash. You would go into immediate seizure or shock. So for you to survive, for you to simply be able to walk down the street without passing out, your brain has to do something drastic. It has to act like a sensor. It has to delete almost everything. Out of those 2 billion bits of information, your brain only allows you to process about 2,000 bits. Do the math on that. From 2 billion down to 2,000. That means you are physically ignoring 99.999% of what is actually happening around you. This isn't a metaphor. This is biology. You are not seeing reality. You are seeing a tiny, curated, edited slice of reality. You are seeing a highlight reel. Imagine you are in a pitch-black warehouse the size of a city. The warehouse is filled with everything imaginable: gold bars, piles of trash, beautiful art, dangerous monsters, lovers, enemies. But you are standing there with a tiny flashlight that only shines a beam 1 inch wide. What you see in that beam is your reality. If you shine it on the trash, you think this warehouse is a dump. If you shine it on the gold, you think this warehouse is a treasure chest. The warehouse hasn't changed, only your focus has. But here is the scary question. The question that keeps philosophers and quantum physicists awake at night. If you are only allowed to see 0.001% of the world, who decides where the flashlight points? Who is the editor? Why does one person see a world full of opportunity, luck and abundance, while their neighbor living on the same street, in the same economy, with the same background, sees only struggle, scarcity, and fear? They are living in the same physical world, but they are filtering two completely different realities. Today we are going to meet the editor. We are going to look at the biological switch in your brain that controls your destiny. It's called the Reticular Activating System. And if you don't learn how to program it, it will program you. Deep inside your brain, right at the top of the brainstem, sits a small bundle of nerves about the size of your little finger. This is the Reticular Activating System. It looks insignificant. It's primitive. It is one of the oldest parts of the human brain, evolving long before our complex frontal lobes. But this little bundle of nerves is the most powerful gatekeeper in your entire body. It is the bridge between your conscious mind and your subconscious mind. To understand what the RAS does, I want you to imagine a very exclusive high-end nightclub. Your conscious mind, the part of you that thinks, plans, worries, and makes decisions, is the party inside the club. It's the VIP section. It's small, and it can't handle too many people at once. Your conscious attention is a limited resource. You can only focus on one or two things at a time. The world outside the club is the chaotic street. That's the 2 billion bits of data trying to get in. The RAS is the bouncer. The bouncer stands at the door with a clipboard. He looks at the screaming crowds of information, the noises, the sights, the opportunities, the threats, and he blocks almost all of them. He says, "You're not on the list. You're not on the list. You're not on the list." He only lets in the data that matches the criteria on his clipboard. This is crucial to understand. If the data doesn't match the list, it doesn't just get ignored, it literally becomes invisible to you. Your eyes might physically see it. The photons might hit your retina, but the signal is stopped at the brainstem. It never reaches the visual cortex. Your conscious mind never knows it was there. Let me give you a real-world example that you have definitely experienced. This is known as the Baader-Meinhof phenomenon, or the frequency illusion. Have you ever decided to buy a specific car? Let's say you decide you want a white Tesla. Before you made that decision, you probably didn't notice that many white Teslas on the road. They were just traffic. They were background noise. They were irrelevant data. But the very second, you decide I want a white Tesla, what happens? Suddenly you see them everywhere. You see 3 of them on your way to work. You see one parked in front of your house. You see one on a billboard. You see one in a YouTube ad. Did the factory suddenly produce thousands of white Teslas overnight just for you? Did the universe magically teleport them into your path? Of course not. They were always there. They were always driving past you. But before your bouncer, the RASs didn't care about them. They weren't on the clipboard. So your eyes saw them, but your brain deleted them. They were filtered out as junk data. But the moment you focused your desire on that car, you updated the clipboard. You told the bouncer, white Teslas are now important. And suddenly your RAS started highlighting them in your reality. This is the mechanical function of the RAS. It is a biological search engine. It is a heat-seeking missile. Whatever is on its list, it will find. It doesn't judge whether the thing is good for you or bad for you. It doesn't care if it makes you happy or miserable. It simply looks for matches. If you put opportunities to make money on the list, the RAS will scan every conversation, every website, and every street corner for money. But if you put reasons to be offended on the list, the RAS will scan every interaction for an insult. Even if someone gives you a compliment, the RAS will twist it to sound like sarcasm, just to match the list. And this is where the danger lies. Because for most of you watching this video, you never consciously wrote the list on that clipboard. Your list was written by your past. It was written by your parents. It was written by your traumas. And because of that, your bouncer is letting in all the wrong guests and blocking the very things you are praying for. If the RAS is just a machine that follows instructions, why does life feel so hard for so many people? Why does it feel like bad luck follows you around? The problem isn't the machine. The problem is the software. To understand why your filter is corrupted, we have to look at 2 things: evolution and childhood. First, evolution. Evolution designed the RAS for one thing: survival. It did not design it for happiness. It did not design it for wealth. It designed it to keep you alive. Thousands of years ago, if you were walking through the jungle, it was much more important for you to notice a tiger in the bushes than a beautiful flower. If you missed the flower, you just missed a pretty sight. But if you missed the tiger, you were dead. So biologically, we are hardwired with a negativity bias. Your bouncer is naturally paranoid. Without your conscious permission, it puts danger, scarcity, and fear at the very top of the VIP list. But we don't live in the jungle anymore. We live in a modern world, where our tigers are bills, rejection emails, awkward social interactions, and the fear of failure. Because your brain treats these things as life or death threats, your RAS becomes hyper-focused on them. It scans your environment for problems so it can protect you. Second, let's talk about childhood programming. Between the ages of 0 and 7, your brain is in a specific brainwave state called theta. This is a hypnotic state. It is the same state you are in just before you fall asleep. In this state, you have no critical filter. You are like a video camera, recording everything without judgment. You are downloading the operating system of your life. If during those years you heard your parents say things like, "Money doesn't grow on trees," "Rich people are greedy," "We can't afford that," "Life is a struggle," your young brain didn't just hear those words as opinions. It recorded them as laws of reality. It wrote them in permanent marker on the RAS clipboard. So now you are an adult. You want to be wealthy. You consciously say, "I want money." But your RAS looks at the clipboard, and the deep core instruction from childhood says, "Money is scarce. Money is hard." Now look at what happens in your daily life. You walk through your day. On your left there might be a subtle opportunity, maybe an investment idea, a job opening, or a new connection. But because your core belief is money is hard to make, your RAS filters that opportunity out. It literally blinds you to it. You scroll right past it. You don't hear the sentence in the conversation. But, on your right, there is a news story about the economy crashing, or you see a bill in your mail, or you hear a friend complaining about being broke. Your RAS screams, "Match found." It highlights that information. It floods your brain with it. It says, "Look, see, you were right. Money is hard to make. Here is the proof." This is called confirmation bias, but it's not just a psychological concept. It is a neural loop. The more you focus on how broke you are, the more your RAS hunts for evidence of poverty. The more evidence you see, the more you believe it. And the more you believe it, the more you focus on it. It is a self-fulfilling prophecy. This applies to everything. Think about relationships. If you believe I am unlovable, your RAS effectively puts a blockade on love. Someone could be flirting with you, showing you genuine kindness, or offering you a deep connection. But your bouncer checks the list. I am unlovable. This kindness doesn't match the list, so the RAS labels it as suspicious, or simply ignores it. But the moment someone treats you poorly, the moment someone ignores your text, bing, match found. Your RAS lets that pain right in the front door. It amplifies it. You obsess over it. You are not cursed. You are not unlucky. The universe is not punishing you. You are simply stuck in a feedback loop. Your biological filter is doing exactly what you told it to do. It is showing you the world you expect to see. Most people live their entire lives trapped in this loop. They wait for the world to change so they can feel better. They say, when I see the money, then I'll believe I'm wealthy. But that is biologically backward. That is impossible. You will never see the money until you believe it first. You have to change the setting on the filter before the filter can show you a new reality. This is where science meets spirituality. This is where the ancient mystics and the modern neuroscientists finally shake hands. For decades, people have talked about the law of attraction. They said like attracts like. They said what you focus on grows. Skeptics laughed at this. They called it woo-woo. They said just thinking about $1 million won't make it fall from the sky. And they are right. Sitting on your couch and just thinking about $1 million won't make it fall from the sky. But thinking about it, obsessing over it, feeling it, and visualizing it reprograms the RAS. When spiritual teachers say you create your own reality, they are not speaking metaphorically. They are describing the filtering process of your brainstem. The universe is full of infinite possibilities. This is the concept of the quantum field. Right now, in the room where you are sitting, there are radio waves carrying heavy metal music. There are waves carrying classical music. There are waves carrying the news. There are waves carrying phone calls. They are all occupying the same space at the same time. But you can't hear them. Why? Because you aren't tuned to their frequency. You don't have the receiver turned on. Your RAS is the tuner. If your tuner is set to 98.5 FM, the poverty station, you will only hear the music of poverty. You can scream and cry that you want to hear the music of wealth 105.9 FM. But until you turn the dial, the radio cannot play that song. When you practice manifestation, when you visualize, when you do your affirmations, when you script, you are not trying to change the outside world. You are trying to grab the knob of your RAS and physically turn it to a new frequency. We now know this is possible through neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity is the brain's ability to rewire itself. Every time you think a thought, a chemical reaction happens. Neurons fire together. If you think that thought once, it's like a spider web, very weak. But if you think that thought every day, if you feel it with emotion, that spider web becomes a cable. The neurons coat themselves in a substance called myelin. Myelin is like the insulation on a wire. It makes the signal travel faster and stronger. When you consistently focus on abundance, you are physically building a superhighway of wealth in your brain. You are insulating the neural pathways that look for opportunity. And once that tuner is set, once that highway is built, the magic happens. Suddenly, you meet the right person at the coffee shop. Suddenly you stumble upon a book that changes your career. Suddenly you have an idea for a business that seems so obvious you can't believe you didn't see it before. Was it magic? Did the universe rearrange itself for you? Maybe. But on a physical level, what happened was that your bouncer finally let the opportunity in. It was always there. It was waiting for you. But you were blind to it until you changed your filter. So how do we do it? How do we break into the control room of the brain and rewrite the code? How do we hack the RAS so that instead of looking for danger and lack, it hunts for wealth, love and joy? It's easier than you think, but you have to follow the specific operating manual of the brain. The RAS is a powerful supercomputer, but it has one flaw, a flaw that is the key to your freedom. The RAS cannot tell the difference between a real event and a vividly imagined one. It does not know the difference between what your eyes see and what your mind envisions. To the neurons in your brainstem, they are the same electrical signal. If you watch a scary movie, your heart races and your palms sweat. Why? You know it's fake, but your RAS sees the image of the monster and fires the danger signal anyway. We are going to use this loophole to reprogram your reality. Here is the 3-step protocol to hack your RAS. This is not something you do once. This is a lifestyle change. Step 1. The morning prime. Extreme specificity. Most people fail because their instructions are too vague. They say, I want to be rich, or I want to be happy. The RAS ignores vague requests. It's a machine, it needs data. If you tell a bouncer, let cool people in, he doesn't know what to do. If you tell him, let in people wearing red shoes, he will catch every single one. You need to give your brain a clear target. Every morning, immediately after you wake up, take 5 minutes to write down exactly what you want the RAS to find. Don't just say money. Visualize a specific amount. Visualize the notification on your phone screen. See the bank logo. See the commas in the numbers. Don't just say love. Visualize the specific type of partner. What are you doing together? Where are you eating dinner? What does their laugh sound like? The more specific the image, the faster the RAS locks onto it. You are giving the bouncer a photograph of the guest you want to let in. Step 2. Emotionalized rehearsal. The fuel. This is the most critical step. This is where 90% of people fail. You cannot just think the thought, you have to feel it. Why? Because emotions are the chemical glue that makes a memory stick. When you think about a traumatic memory from your past, why is it so vivid? Because it has a high emotional charge. That fear or sadness told your route, Chris. This is important. Keep this file. Never delete it. To program a new future, you must attach high emotion to it. Close your eyes, see your desire, and then generate the feeling of having it now. Do not feel the wanting of it. Feeling wanting tells the Raux you don't have it. Feel the gratitude. Feel the relief. Feel the excitement. Trick your body. Make your heart beat faster. Make yourself smile. When you combine a clear image with a strong emotion, the Raux gets tricked. It thinks, wait, this feels real. This feels important. This must be happening right now. It immediately updates the clipboard. It starts scanning your environment for anything that matches that vibration. Step 3. The evidence game. The reinforcement. Once you have set the intention, you need to prove to your brain that it's working. You need to play the evidence game. For the next 7 days, your only job is to look for tiny micro proofs that your reality is shifting. If you are manifesting wealth, and you find a penny on the street, celebrate it. Don't dismiss it. Pick it up and say to yourself, see, it's working. Money is coming to me. If you get a small discount on your coffee, see, I am a magnet for abundance. If you see a nice car, that's a sign. My car is coming. When you acknowledge these small wins, you are giving your RAS a dopamine hit. You are rewarding the bouncer. You are training it like a dog. You are saying, yes, good boy, more of this please. And what you appreciates. The RAS will widen the filter. It will let in more pennies, then dollars, then hundreds, then thousands. It starts small, but once the momentum builds, it becomes an avalanche. Before we finish, I need to warn you about the one thing that will try to stop you. It is called the time lag. In the quantum realm, change is instant. But in the physical realm, the 3D world of matter, things move slower. Matter is dense. It takes time for the circumstances to rearrange. When you start this protocol, you might not see $1 million in your bank account on day 1. And this is where most people quit. They say, I did the visualization this morning, and nothing happened. It doesn't work. This is a trap. Imagine you have planted a seed in the ground. You watered it. You gave it sunlight. If you dig it up the next day to see if it has roots, you will kill it. You have to trust the dark time. You have to trust the time when nothing seems to be happening. Under the surface, your RAS is rewiring. Under the surface, the bridge is being built. If you persist, if you keep your tuner set to the new frequency even when the static is loud, the signal will come through. It is a law of physics. It is inevitable. You are not a victim of your reality. You are the architect of it. For years you may have been running on autopilot, letting an old, outdated program filter your world. You have been looking through a lens of fear, lack, and limitation, because that is what you were taught to do as a child. But today you know the secret. You know where the switch is hidden. The world out there is infinite. There is a version of reality where you are wealthy. There is a version where you are healed. There is a version where you are deeply loved. Those versions are not in a distant fantasy land. They are right here. They are in the data streams you were previously ignoring. They are vibrating in the air around you, waiting for you to tune in. Your old life ends the moment you decide to see a new one. Program your filter, guide your bouncer, be specific, feel it, and watch as the universe rearranges itself before your very eyes. If you are ready to shift your timeline, type I am seeing it in the comments below to lock in this new programming. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the Innerverse Quantum Mirror. We don't just talk about magic here, we explain the science behind it. I'll see you in the next reality.